Every problem you face in life stems from one simple cause. You care too much about what others think of you. That constant concern for other people's opinions is the root of your unhappiness. But what if you let go of that fear? What if you had the courage to live life on your own terms? Every worry you experience is always connected to the outside world. You might think your anxiety or sadness is internal, something personal and separate from others, but it's not. They explain that so-called internal worry doesn't exist. Whatever bothers you, the shadows of other people are always present in it. You worry about judgment, about being misunderstood, about not measuring up. That's not just internal stress. It's your need for external approval controlling your emotions. They argue that life is only as complicated as you make it. You've probably felt like your problems are tangled and unsolvable, but according to them, all of life's problems can be resolved with one bold move: developing the courage to be disliked. Imagine how different your life would feel if you didn't fear being misunderstood or judged. That's the kind of freedom they talk about. They say it's not that you lack confidence, you lack courage. The courage to be happy is also the courage to be disliked. Once you embrace this, your relationships, your mindset, your very existence begin to feel lighter. Why chasing external approval always leads to disappointment? Kishimi and Koga explain that no matter your past, you have the power to create a happy life. The biggest difference between happy and unhappy people? It's not intelligence, talent, or luck. It's the willingness to change. Their ideas draw on the psychology of Alfred Adler, who believed that your mind, body, and emotions all work together toward a single goal. Everything you do, think, or feel, even things you think are random, serve that goal, whether you're aware of it or not. Your goals aren't just abstract wishes. They actually shape who you are. Kishimi and Koga build on this idea by showing you that your lifestyle, your habits, your beliefs, your emotional reactions are all things you've chosen at some point, and you're still choosing them every day because they've helped you get something you want. Take a moment to consider that. Even your anxiety might be serving a hidden purpose. Say you want a job, but you're too anxious to prepare for the interview. You might think, if only I weren't so anxious, I'd have a shot. But what if your true goal isn't the job at all? What if your real goal is to avoid the risk of failing? In that case, your fear isn't the enemy. It's the tool you're using to stay safe. Now maybe you're thinking, but what about trauma? What about the past? Doesn't that shape who I am? Kishimi and Koga don't deny the pain of trauma, but they reject the idea that it defines you. They say no experience, no matter how painful, is the ultimate cause of your success or failure. You are not trapped by your past. You're shaped by the meaning you assign to it. So ask yourself, what meanings have you been giving your pain? Are they helping you move forward or keeping you stuck? So if happiness is in your control, why would anyone choose to be unhappy? According to Kishimi and Koga, unhappiness can actually be a strategy, a way to meet your goals without facing risk. You might not realize it, but some people stay in a state of constant frustration because their deepest goal is tied to relationships, and more specifically, to being liked by others. Think about your relationships. What are you trying to achieve in them? Are you trying to feel useful, or are you chasing approval? That question determines your happiness more than almost anything else. Kishimi and Koga say that when your main goal is to earn others' approval, you're setting yourself up for constant disappointment. You start believing that your value is based on how others see you, on your achievements, your image, your status. Maybe you've heard that the desire for approval is natural, and in a way, it is. But the authors argue that approval only feels good because it temporarily satisfies a deeper longing to feel valuable. And here's the dangerous part. Even when you get that validation, it's never enough. You start living according to what others expect, not what you believe is right. You sacrifice your freedom just to feel accepted. And when approval becomes impossible, because sometimes it is, what do? You might give up. You might tell yourself you're flawed or unworthy or broken just to justify not trying. But that's still letting your life be ruled by the need for approval. You haven't let go of it. You've just buried it deeper. This mindset doesn't just damage your self-esteem, it wrecks your relationships too. When you believe life is a competition, where someone else's success means your failure, you start to see others as threats. Instead of celebrating them, you quietly hope they fall. That envy poisons your connections. It blocks real friendship, real love, real joy. And it gets worse. When you do something kind, like throw someone a party or help them through a rough patch, and they don't give you the praise you expect, you feel angry. You think, how could they not appreciate this? But that's not kindness. That's a transaction. You weren't giving. You were trading. And that's not love. That's control. So what's the alternative? Kishimi and Koga say that happy people don't seek approval. They focus on contribution. They ask, how can I be useful to someone today? And that's where they find joy. When you know you've made someone's life a little easier or brighter, you don't need anyone to clap for you. You already feel full. You already feel valuable. And guess what? That kind of happiness doesn't depend on other people's opinions. You decide what being useful means. You define what matters. And when you live that way, anything that doesn't align starts to feel like a waste of time, even if it wins you applause. If you truly feel that you're contributing something meaningful, you don't need recognition. You already have what you're looking for, the deep awareness that you matter. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be extraordinary. Just being alive, just existing, can bring joy to others. That's enough. Your presence is enough. Even if you've made mistakes, even if you don't have it all together, you're still worthy of love, of peace, of happiness. And when you believe that, you stop competing. You stop comparing. You start cheering for others, not because you have to, but because their success doesn't threaten yours. There's room for everyone to thrive, including you. Finally, Kishimi and Koga remind you to live in the moment. You don't have to wait for some grand achievement to feel joy. You can feel it now by choosing goals that align with who you really are, by choosing contribution over validation, by accepting that not everyone will like you and choosing to live your life anyway. Because at the end of the day, not everyone will approve of you, no matter what you do. So the only way to be truly free is to stop chasing that approval. Accept that some people won't understand you, and live in a way that you understand, that you believe is good. That's the courage to be disliked, and it might just be the beginning of your happiest life.